now going to do a Q&A because I'm imagining that lots of you have some questions, and I will just try and direct them towards the most appropriate person to answer them. So does anybody have starting questions? Yes?
Just with the competition with Riverdale, I'm assuming it's great because it gets people moving and motivated. Are we sharing ideas? Are we?
Yes. So the question is, with the competition with Riverdale, are we sharing ideas, or is it like a strict competition? We go from the scale of like it's a full collaboration to like we're having a competition. And I would say that our chair of Green 13 is as far to the collaboration side as you can get. And some of us are a little more competitive, but it's about working together. So it may be coming up with the best ideas and then racing to see who can get them in place first.
But I'd also add to that it's been very collaborative so far. So I think they've been sharing ideas and agenda items, what's happening. So I think it's been a wonderful building of a relationship between both groups. So we think that's a positive thing also.
Great.
Yeah. We'll use either one or both in every way we can to get as many people engaged and to get as much coverage as we can for it. Yes?
I just have a quick question. If you don't live on any of the streets in question and you'd like to participate, where do you sign? What do you
sign up for one of those streets and we'll connect you with some people.
Okay.
For the biggest challenge we have for the next little bit is getting as many people in the area to do the survey as possible. So we're going to be mobilizing as many of you as possible to help us with that. So once you've done your own survey, you can come in and just help out on whichever street. If you happen to know somebody who lives in the area and lives on one of those streets, I would say sign up because we all like to work with friends and family. So if there's somebody that you know already, why not sign up on their street and get them to come out and get engaged in the project as well.
Are any institutional or commercial properties getting involved with this?
Yeah, we actually, the survey, I believe Ashley will confirm this, the survey has been set up so that businesses can get involved. For us to make the junction carbon neutral, we're going to need to get everybody engaged. So it is our intention. We're starting out focusing on the homeowners, but we will also be talking to the small businesses, talking to the apartment owners, and just everyone and everybody in the junction. So.
schools and churches as well?
Yes, as well as the schools and the churches. The Annette Street Public School also has housed in it, what is the name of the school?
High Park.
The High Park Alternative, and we've already done some outreach to those folks, and they're really interested in getting engaged and getting the kids in the schools engaged. And there's also a number of different faith communities within the area, and there's an organization called the Green Awakening Network, which is working with faith communities to help them make their own buildings greener. So I know there are a couple of churches in the area that are actually looking at doing solar panels on their roofs already. So.
And Paul, just to add to that, there is a survey available online for businesses as well.
Okay, there is a survey online for businesses as well. Thank you, Karen. Yep.
I have a two-part question. I like the idea of the solar panels. Do you think it's possible to contact a certain company and do some sort of mass buying approach or something that we could?
So the question is, can we work together and go out and approach some companies about doing bulk purchasing and installations? And definitely that is one of the things that we'll be working on.
And because I'm your Green Party candidate in the riding, I was wondering what I can do personally to help in any specific way to get some of these things done. So I just don't know what you expect from me or what I can do.
Well, you know what? We've got a sign-up list, and I don't know if the list has gone through the room yet to just get. Yeah. Okay.
Can I also add to that? The Neighborhood Summit is the place where we're bringing together not only the neighborhood leadership, but we're also going to bring partners together. So it'll be solar panel companies, it'll be Bullfrog Power, it'll be other suppliers. We're going to bring together everybody that we think would be possible partners to the neighborhood. We'll be bringing in some academics, some international experts. A lot of people have been thinking about this, so absolutely that's going to be sort of part of the whole neighborhood summit that's going to happen in the late fall.
Thank you, Julie.
You guys are doing an awesome job here. So
Oh,
excited.
thank you. Question here?
I have a question, like what is the next step? The next step is the survey, but how are we going to go to our neighbors and get them to do it? Are you going to be emailing us? Those of us who've signed up, like what's going to happen next?
Yeah, we've already done some canvassing through a good portion of the neighborhood. We've been gathering people's emails and contact information, and we're going to be sending out an email that will have a link. We're also going to invite people to come out, just if you're interested in going and talking to your neighbors, to a session where we can actually do an orientation and just sort of walk through, how do we approach our friends and neighbors about this type of thing? What have other people done and what can we learn from them? I would just say, I have canvassed with Greenpeace for years, and I haven't had so much fun canvassing in a long time. Going and talking to the folks on West Home and a couple of the other streets, and I see people here that I spoke to at their homes, and it was just great. I talked to I think 15 people, and 14 people were like, you know what, sign me up, I want to get engaged, and I want to get more information, I want to do this. So I think we just have this fabulous community here, and I can see it in this room, and so that's what we're going to be working on.
So I just want to add to that. So essentially, every single door that is within this particular defined neighborhood, there should be someone knocking at your door sometime soon, okay? So the reason why there's all these great sign-up sheets at the back there is because we're looking for people to help become street leaders. That's what we call them, street leaders. So when Paul keeps on talking about you're going to talk to your neighbors, it's basically people who'll be sort of, there'll be 2 or 3 people we hope they'll be in charge of a particular street, and you'll be going door to door, and you will be sort of talking about, well, I'm with Project Neutral, we're trying to get people to fill out the survey, here's where you go to actually get the survey, you'll also have a physical copy of the survey, so you will be helping people to sort of know that they're in the Project Neutral neighborhood, and then you'll be helping them also know that there's a survey to be filled out. And if they need help, then either you'll help them or you'll find someone else who can help them. I don't know if you guys want to add anything at this point. The survey is online right now.
Yep.
So it is online. Just go to www.projectneutral.org. So Ashley was very kind to take us through that earlier. So yeah, very exciting. I think we have something to add.
Yeah.
Just to follow up on that, recognizing that not everyone is online, will there be a paper copy available?
So Rita's asking and just clarifying, we're going to have paper copies as well. So if you have neighbors who do not have a computer or do not have internet access, there are ways for them to take part as well. And there's a variety of different options. We can actually bring a computer and help them do it, or we can do it on paper and then we can re-enter it afterwards. I had one back there, and then I'll come over here. Or did I have 2? 2? Okay.
Okay, on the survey, I noticed it talked in the energy section, it gave examples of gas and electricity. Does it also include oil? I haven't done it.
The survey, we talked about gas and electricity. Does it include oil for oil purposes as well?
We actually took that off, but I can quickly put it back in if it's. We took it off because we didn't think that there would be a large enough contingent of oil furnaces to include. But okay, then I'll put it back in. Yeah. The survey changes constantly, so we'll put it back in for you guys.
You talked about a sword and you bush canopy, and you gave as an example trees. Now, I actually have a lot of small shrubs and bushes. Do those count as well? Or those you have to? And it seems to me that trees actually use a lot of water.
Ashley, you want to come on up?
Hi. Your point is very valid. When you're looking at things like sumac shrubs or lilac shrubs, I mean, they're large enough that they actually contribute significant amounts. The difficulty was in getting information from people that we figured we could actually measure. I mean, it would be really hard to get any kind of standardization for the shrubs. And we had debates, I mean, the whole team, we talked for probably days if you added up the hours on what should and shouldn't be included. The real thing is to try and get like what we understand to be the big pieces. And also things that we know that you can get back to us, and things that we know that you can make a difference with. So planting a tree is an action that you can take. Whether it's a lilac or a tree, that's fine with us. That it's a significant contribution. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
When I got the email, I couldn't wait to come here because I have 2 questions to ask you, especially when I heard that you mentioned that internationally we went down, like from the 12th place to 40th?
46, yeah.
And then when the young lady, I think from Project Neutral, said that the vision is not just locally, not just a neighborhood, but actually internationally, maybe globally. And then it came to my mind Goldcorp, which is one of the biggest mining companies, Canadian mining companies, and the reputation we have overseas is terrible. We are carbon print, huge devastation, like the ecosystem, the stability of neighborhoods.
Definitely.
So what I wanted to ask you is, could it be possible that 1,000 people write letters to those communities, whether it's Goldcorp directly in Guatemala, for instance, Salvador, Honduras, to communities, asking them, how can we help them? Even though we're here, I'm sure there is something we can do. The power of writing emails is great. So I have those questions. Maybe some of you could think and say, how can we, just read on the internet. Amnesty International has so much. YouTube has so much. Just Google Guatemala, Salvador, and Canadian mining, Goldcorp, nickels, all that. And maybe some of you will come up with some ideas. And that's why I came here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It is about making sure that we be the citizens of the world that we are looking for and that we want to be. And our focus is fairly specific right now, but I think as we get out and we work together, we can then look at how we can actually support more and more people, because we have to start supporting each other. I have a last question right here.
Sure, I was wondering what your relationship with the utilities are, whether it's possible to get mass amounts of data or to streamline the data collection or anything like that.
We're just going to actually answer that. That's okay.
I'll answer that again. So we have a relationship with Enbridge where there's an option within the survey that you can sign a waiver that authorizes them to release the data. And in terms of validation, we have a relationship with the City of Toronto where they're going to release aggregate data for us so that we can validate whether or not your neighborhood is comparable to Toronto and have some understanding of what the numbers are really saying to us. And that's sort of where we are with that. Does that answer your question?
Sure, so that they'll be prepared for just lots of people asking for that data?
Well, we've talked with Enbridge about...
But we've talked to Toronto Hydro,
and we've talked to
Toronto Water.
Yeah.
So I think Toronto Hydro definitely knows about us, and we have,
Mm-hmm.
and Toronto Water I think actually did a bit of like a private shopper type thing where she called to see how fast she could actually get her water sort of details, and she said it was really quick, right?
Well, it was Toronto Water was a little longer, but on average it was about 10 minutes. And if you don't have your bills, like I don't keep all of my bills, I have some of them, but you can call the utility provider. So you can call Enbridge or Lambert Oil or Union Gas or whomever your service provider is, and they'll give the exact number to you. And that's sort of part of the prep that maybe you want to do. And we figured it was about 10 minutes on average that they got that information. You'll get questions as to why you want the information, but then you can tell them about it too. So, okay.
And I would also say that those numbers are provided for you on the survey also. So it makes that as easy as possible for you to actually grab that information.
Okay.